have a car, two kids, and a wife. I'll probably be here for the rest of my life. I'm living on the island. When summer comes and winter falls, the island ladies go to shopping malls. Take daddy's credit card, charge it all. They're living on an island. Oh, we're living on Long Island. Oh, you know it's so much fun. I'm living on the island. I'm just basking in the sun.
Hey, Andy, give me a vodka. Is that your Camaro? It's gorgeous.
You know, I went to high school with Billy Joel.
I go to Hamptons on Friday night. I party hard in the sunshine. Right then I'm sitting in traffic on Sunday night. I'm living on an island. Yeah, living on Long Island. Oh, you know it's so much fun. I'm living on the island. I'm not hurting anyone. Ah, let's live.
Hey there, Islanders. If you're going out to the beach, you better get an early start. Traffic is miserable.
Well, I'm coming of age in Old Bethpage, trying to get down in Levittown, dancing in the dark in Floral Park. I think I'll stay in Oyster Bay because I'm living on an island. Yeah, living on Long.
Hi!
We're living on the island.
Living on the island. And we're back.
Yeah, it's been a.
It
I
has.
was here Halloween.
Without me. How
Without-
spooky.
It
It was
wa-
the scariest show we ever had. I'm just kidding.
Without you.
I was-
It wasn't a Gagootz show.
It was a Gagootz show, but it was a really good show. I hope you guys tuned in to Death Sentences. And if you didn't, you can find it here on Strong Island Television on Facebook, or you can also look on YouTube and find it. It was very good. And I might have a little cameo in it.
You do have it. You do. Yeah.
You just give it away, Benny. Give it away. Give it all away. But that was a very good show. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, because I was going to thank anyway. I have to thank you, Don Sill, who put together this awesome little intro.
Oh, so cute with like little zombie hands and skeletons.
And you read a chapter. You couldn't be here, but you read a chapter from Last of the Fangtooth Bastards.
A very vivacious and sultry chapter.
Yes, that's the one that.
Yeah, it's one for the books. If you're into Daniel Steele and vampires, it's for you. It's for you. I liked it.
I knew it was because you wanted to read something, and I was like, "This is Jen's chapter to read."
If you want to know what Benny's talking about, go watch it, because if you're like, "This is Jen's chapter to read," I think it says a lot about me.
No, but I just knew that would be the one, and that would make you think about. You kept pushing the book, pushing my vampire novel that you heard that I had written,
Loved
and
it.
I told you that I love the story, but I didn't like the way I told it, so I did some revisions to it. Still have a few more to do, but and I also want to thank Michelle McDonald and Joey Petroni,
Yes.
who both came and read.
Yes. That was lovely. And
that was me.
I don't think I've ever met Michelle, but I know Joey Petroni is just the best. I was on his show, WGBB,
yes.
last Monday. Not the Monday, but the Monday before that. You can find that on YouTube and at WGBB.com, Long Island Radio. And he's so great. He like makes little clips, and they're so wonderful. And he talked about that show we did on Sunday, that big benefit that's finally over.
Yeah, tell everybody why.
So for the entire, basically, beginning of this year, I have been doing a comedy calendar benefiting the Barbara C. Wilson School for Children with Autism. They have a few campuses on Long Island, and all of these wonderful male comedians agreed to be in my calendar, and we got it shot, and we got it made, and we had a wonderful premiere on Sunday at Garden Social. We made nice money for the kids, and everyone had a great time. We had a photography group there taking professional photos.
They were great.
Oh, they're fantastic. And Benny did a set.
Every comedian was great.
He does one set, and then he looks like Samuel L. Jackson. I saw him getting out of the car, and he was like, "No paparazzi, please." I'm like, "It's just me. It's just me in my bag. That's it. There's nobody else here." But maybe it went right to his head.
Your friends, I have to say, your friends love me. They've seen me. Some of your friends
They're
have
nice
seen
to you because they're my friends. What, do you want them to be mean to you? They love you. We all love you. I love you.
And
You're Benny.
I gave them something new. You know, I didn't do all the same material.
That's right.
I don't.
Well, you've been working really hard the last couple of months at open mics.
But last week I was sick.
Yes.
So I wanted to spend the whole week preparing for this show.
Yeah, if
And I was
anybody,
sick.
Betty puts the work in for sure. He's always going to open mics. You can if you might be lucky and catch him on a free night at an open mic. So I suggest checking it out because you'll have to pay big bucks to see him otherwise.
And another thing I did during the time we were away was Joey Cola had his symposium.
Symposium,
which was awesome. And I actually texted him the next day and said, Joey, you got to do it again. You got to do it.
It was so crazy because it came back like subscriber not listed. I guess Joey changed his number and didn't let you know. I'm just kidding. You know how it happens. Your friends get famous and all of a sudden, where'd they go?
No, it was very informative.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was Joey opened up his soul for everybody, and he told you everything about how to be a working comedian.
Oh.
To be a working, the work you have to put in to be a working.
It's sacrifice. It is
And
absolutely sacrifice, in my opinion.
And so 43 years of being a road comic, plus 30 years of studio warm-ups.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Imagine that. It's your life, though. It's your job. So if you had to wrap it all up, what would you say was the best advice he gave at that symposium?
Well, best advice is to just keep writing material, make your bits modular. Make them so they're modular, so you could just interchange, move your bits around.
That's what I always talk about, transitions.
Transitions,
Yeah.
right. And something that happens to me a lot, I always
Gas,
have
you get
pe-
diarrhea.
Gas
Yeah.
and diarrhea, so no.
Oh.
Besides that, people actually talk during my set, or somebody interrupts a punchline. And he brought up, he says, if I'm getting to a punchline and a waitress drops a glass or something, don't acknowledge it. Don't make it. Just go on to the next joke, and just keep moving. And he gave some tricks of sometimes when you think the performer is talking to someone like sir or whatever. He said there's no one there where he's pointing.
Probably, yeah.
And, it just does that, and that gets everybody involved. And
You can't do that at smaller stages, though. Just don't use that tip if you're in like a group of 20, because they'll think something's really wrong with you. They'll be like, he's not even talking to anybody. So,
yeah, but some of these newbie comics, these wannabes,
yeah.
there's something wrong with them anyway.
There's something wrong with a lot of us, for sure. But speaking of newbie comics, we had a lot of comics on the show that we were on Sunday that started out new at the beginning of the calendar. Now one of them opened for Dave Attell. That was Cravella.
Yeah, Joe Cravella's.
Yeah, you got Fat Jay. He's on year 7 doing huge things, blimping, as Fat Jay would say. Don Still showed up.
Yes.
Can you believe that? I know you all can believe that. He's like our best friend. But Don Still showed up. Tony Walker and Joey Petroni were judges. Amazing, amazing.
They were great judges,
It
yes.
was incredible. It was incredible. Not to step all over the Joey Cola story.
No, but
I had to mention names. I had to mention names.
because Sunday was the biggest event. It was
the
a
biggest
great
event. It was so successful and wonderful. And thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you.
And-
Thank you for inviting me, because
Of course, you're Mr. September.
I know. I'm September. I
Mr.
ruined.
September.
I ruined September for everybody.
No, it's so cute. You know what? I have plenty of calendars left. Please reach out to me on Facebook
Yes.
and buy a calendar. They're $20. The proceeds go to Barbara C. Wilson. I need them out of my house, or else I'm going to be like papering my bathroom with them.
No, buy the calendar. It's
Buy
for a
it.
great cause. I've done a lot of charity for. I've done a lot of charity for you for this
Yes.
school.
Yes, I do
this
a lot
year.
of charity.
And
Yep. Thank
can
you
I
so
claim
much.
that on my income taxes?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell the IRS. I don't know.
I'm just,
my
yeah.
husband's an accountant. Why don't you ask him? Because
I'll talk to him.
I write all
I may
crazy
need
stuff
him
on my
to
taxes.
do my taxes this year, because I need a new tax
He's
man.
not the guy who does the taxes. He's the guy that after you do the taxes wrong and you're in jail, you would call.
Oh, yeah?
That like
Is that
insurance
one?
companies call to be like,
All
this
right, well,
needs to be audited.
Give me his number just in case.
You should everyone should have my husband's number, because like he's a sleeper cell, mild mannered during the day, but he's done 2 tours in Iraq. He's ready to get you, and he knows numbers. And I married him because he was so good at Excel.
Oh.
You know, the software Excel. I was like, yeah.
So anyway, we have guests tonight
we
on
have
tonight's
2
show.
wonderful, extremely amazing guests. Tell us about the first guest.
Bob Greenberg.
Bob Greenberg.
Bob Greenberg, my pal. He was on the original Gagootz show, I think like 4 or 5 times.
I can't believe you
He
keep
was on.
friends. This is amazing. Also, his resume reads like a Chinese food menu. It is so many different things. We're going to get into it all because he's just done a little bit of everything that's wonderful. He's been on main shows. It's just amazing. Stand-up, comedy.
He has a movie that he did a while back that's
Movie?
going to be shown it's a Christmas movie.
A Christmas movie. That's
So-
amazing. We also have Brian Velez with us. I'm sorry, you're going to say something
And
else?
Brian Velez, no.
We have Brian Velez with us, who actually is a friend of mine from when I was little. And recently, he's just decided that he wanted to do creative things, and he took off, just like that. So forget your
And he made a
sacrifice, Joey
film.
Cola.
He
Yeah.
made a film, right?
He put lots of hours and
So we're-
effort into making this film, and lots of effort into becoming a model. He was also in a music video. I mean, he decided he wanted to do it, and you know what? He did it. So it's if you want to change your path completely, do it.
So
He
we
did.
have 2 great guests.
We have amazing
So
guests.
let's stop. Why are we wasting time?
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, I'm done talking
You
to you.
want to show a clip of Bob?
Yeah, let's show a clip of Bob Greenberg.
Bob Greenberg for you guys. Here you go.
The average have about 4 billion more brain cells than women, which of course only begs the question, what do they do with the surplus?
What am I doing with my 4 billion extra brain cells? What am I doing with my 4 billion extra brain cells? What am I doing with my 4 billion extra? I'll have to ask my wife.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. You're all week. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thank you.
who died today? I'm so sorry.
Well, as I dress up,
You did
And,
dress for. We're not used to this at the Gagootz
I
show,
know
though.
I look a little
suit
bit
and
like Chris
tie.
Christie. Don't be scared. I'm not Chris Christie. Don't be scared.
We're gonna see him on the beach later today, and he's gonna say no one else can go, just him. It's terrible. But
They keep rolling him back into the water. They think he's a whale, you know. So.
we're so excited to have you on the show. And one of the first things Benny had said to me about you was he was on Saturday Night Live.
True, with Jim Carrey back in 2011. Yeah, I
Well-
was in the monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, but tell us more about that.
Well, we're going into 2012. It was like 2011. At the end of 2011 to 2012, and so Jim does this monologue. Call him Jim.
Yeah. He knows Jim
monologue.
Carrey personally.
That's
they
right,
call, they
that's
talk.
right. John Mulaney,
Oh, I love
Colin
him.
Jost wrote the monologue, and they wrote my line. I had one line, and they wrote the line. So what happens is, he's talking about it's the end of the world. You know, come 2012, the Mayan calendar says it's the end of the world, so he's going to say and do whatever he wants. And he looks into the audience. He says, like, for instance, right now, I see a pair of beautiful breasts. And they cut to me, and I go, thank you, Jim. Thank you. That was supposed to be it. Now, further on, he goes and he went to a real. I was a plant. I had rehearsed, you know, getting paid and everything. He was supposed to go to a real audience member and propose marriage to them. And we did a dress rehearsal show. They do a show at 8 o'clock. It's like a 3-hour show. And at 11 o'clock, they decide what they're going to use for 11:30.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
And I guess they probably bank it in case there's a problem. So what happens is we do it. Everything goes well for the dress rehearsal. The gal he picks is perfect. She's a real audience member. She's like early Goldie Hawn. She giggles. He picks her up. Everything. She says yes. For the live show in front of billions of people, the woman he asks, and you can find this online, says no. She actually holds up her hand and shows that she's already married.
Was it the same woman from before?
No. You see, the
Oh.
dress rehearsal show is one audience.
Got it.
They all leave and they bring in a fresh audience.
Oh, okay.
So, as a matter of fact, it was very funny because you're always worried that they're going to cut your line or your bit. And I was waiting, and luckily they didn't. They just, I think it was Colin Jost, or was it Mulaney, he said, make sure you give it a big like this in my line or whatever. I say, thank you, Jim. We had Jim they won. Anyway, so he asks this one woman, and she won't get out of her seat. And I don't know if they pre-screened her. Maybe she seemed okay before the taping. So you got to pick this lady. She's a live one. And then she just didn't want to get up. So I'm an old improv guy, and I see his eyes. He's
Freaking,
panicking.
yeah.
And I just raised my hand. Now, I had no idea what I would do with him, but I just wanted to know that I was available.
Here, yeah.
Because there's a game in improv called tag, and if someone's in a rough spot, you raise a hand so you could tag into it. So he sees me and he goes, "Okay, come on!" And he grabs me and pulls me out. He says, "What's your name, Bob?" And we finish the scene. Says, "How would you like to be my new life partner?" Yes, Jim. You know, and we did everything that was supposed to happen between the girl and him, and it went over big time. It looks like that's the way it was supposed to be.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Make it natural.
And it was very funny. And I said to him, "Should I carry you out?" Because he carried the girl out. He says, "No, let's just stand here and wave or whatever." And he says to me, "Man, you saved my ass. Thank you so much." And he puts his hand on my shoulder, and all of a sudden it's being pulled off. They're grabbing him and they're tearing apart because he has to get ready for the next scene. His jacket is like a rip away, and like he's off stage. They're like really pull him off.
They pulled him away from you.
And the stage manager, or was he the first AD? I'm not sure, but he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear," because he knew what happened. The crew all knew what happened. The audience didn't know. They thought that was planned. "Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for Bob Greenberg. Take a bow, Bob." And I bowed from the stage, and the crew members were high-fiving me and everything. Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That's great.
And when you see it, it looks like they wrote it, but it wasn't written that way.
You saved everybody's butt. You saved the show because like that could have stuttered and went over wrong.
Yeah, they talk about that. Actually, Bobby, what's Bobby's last name from the show? I ran into him another time. I said they talk about the one moment that they did real improv on. They usually don't do improv on SNL.
Yeah, it's typically
Unless something goes wrong, which did. So.
Well, you told us an interesting fact that they have a dress rehearsal earlier for the so.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
And then
it's
like
a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
Or
wow.
it's 2.5 hours. I forget, but it's in that block.
that makes sense.
And then they review, and then they rearrange, and sometimes things might be even funnier. I was working on one show. I was just background in one scene with De Niro, and De Niro was doing this like chef thing with a mustache, and the mustache kept coming off, and he wasn't like doing anything to put it back on. And I forget who came on with him, but started just talking and pushing the mustache on. It was so funny, but when they did the actual live taping, it didn't come off. So they didn't see that extra little thing, and I thought that was better, but that was only at the dress rehearsal.
Yeah. Those things happen now. So, but you've been busy besides SNL, and you were in a Christmas movie?
Yes, this was shot a few years back. It's called A Very Merry Toy Store. It's on Lifetime. You can catch it on Thanksgiving morning.
My mom's favorite, and my favorite too.
Thanksgiving morning.
Thanksgiving morning. If you don't want to watch March of the Wooden Soldiers.
Are you competing with the parade?
Or the parade. Well,
listen, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I mean,
well, you know what?
We'll go back and forth.
DVR it, yes. It's 8 a.m. Lifetime, wherever you find Lifetime. And they run it every year. The first year they ran it like every day, and then it gets less and less because they add more movies and rotate it. But I do know Thanksgiving morning at 8 o'clock in the morning it comes on.
I will
But
certainly
it will
DVR
probably,
it.
because it's Lifetime, hopefully it'll be on a few times.
It may after that, but when it's a new Lifetime Melissa Joan Hart movie, she does one like every year, right?
Yeah.
They show it a lot more, and then they backlog the older
Can I ask
ones.
what your character was?
Yes, Mike the banker. We have a clip if you want to see it. Do you want to see a clip now?
I do want to see a clip,
Do we have
Bobby.
Bobby, we have a clip?
Of Mike the Baker.
Chihuahua?
That's pretty short.
I know. I have to ask for an extension. I can give you 30,000 now, but the other.
Oh, you're going to rewind?
Yeah.
Oh, this is live TV.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
there you go. See, it's Bob Greenberg. It's Mike. No problem.
Mike,
Look at you.
hey, listen, business took a major hit on Tuesday. It picked back up again yesterday, but that balloon payment I have coming up, I'm gonna be a little short.
How short?
Chihuahua?
That's pretty short.
I know. I have to ask for an extension. I can give you 30,000 now, but the other 40,000 maybe in 3 months.
Fine.
Listen, before you shoot me down, I just want to sit. Wait, what?
I'll have to run it by Mr. Harris, of course. But I'm confident he'll be agreeable.
Really?
Mr. Harris
You're not
is
joking.
Connie, have you ever met a banker that had you rolling in the aisles?
Good point. Thanks, Mike. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So tune in Thanksgiving Day and find out, do I give her the loan?
This is amazing. You do. You definitely come off very cuddly, and like I would.
One of the rare nice bankers you'll find in the Christmas
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But there are things afoot, and I'm not the messenger. I am the messenger. Well, you have to find out. We'll see what happens.
I can't wait.
I can't
To be
wait.
continued.
He has
The
so,
suspense is killing me.
there's so much more we have to talk to you about.
Yes, all right.
But
we can talk.
we have to we're going to bring
Oh,
our other.
all right. So I'll
Your
go over there.
Your 7 minutes is up, buddy.
But let me tell you, we could talk to this.
How
We
sweet
could
it
talk to
is.
Bob for hours. His resume is insane. Bob, where can they find out more about you online?
You can go to Facebook, Bob Greenberg Comedian, or you can go to Instagram at Bob Greenberg Actor Comic, and yeah, you can find me everywhere.
Bob
but
will
we
be-
have more. We have so much more we're going to talk
Oh, I
about.
got to talk about that benefit I'm doing. We'll do that in the next segment. I'm doing a benefit on November 26th, but we'll talk about that later.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go
All
ahead
right.
and we'll switch out. Thank you, Bob.
I'll
Thanks,
be
Bob.
back.
He'll be back, and we're gonna bring
I'll
up.
be back.
And I don't think we have a transition for this, do we?
Oh, I just get up
Yeah,
and leave?
no, I don't think we have a transition
All right,
for this
so
one.
I'll be nonchalant, all right?
Yes, be
What?
very nonchalant.
Oh, wait. He's going to throw.
What?
Yes.
Oh, should I sit down?
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
I don't wanna come back down from this town, this town, this town, this town, this town, this town.
Hello,
Yeah,
welcome
hello.
back.
That
This
was
is
some
Bob.
commotion.
Yeah. This is
Right.
Brian Velez, and he is our guest tonight, and also a close friend of mine from when I was like 12. This was a very long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, like 5 years ago when we were in our teens.
Right. Just 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
I
When
mean,
you were 12, yeah.
Yeah, I'm barely legal.
Ever since high school graduation last year, we've been friends. I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly. But Brian has just the most beautiful and amazing story. And we're going to get into the trials and some of the tribulation that happened to get him there. But you decided you were going to be a creative.
Yeah, I've always wanted to. It's always been inside me, and I've always done different things with art, but I've never shown anyone. Ever since I was a kid, I would draw things and then I would throw it away, or I would act in a mirror, or things like that. But I would never let anyone see anything until 2014, and a little alcohol.
A lot of alcohol.
My friends finally got me to do karaoke, and I was horrified. And I was like, let me do Alicia Keys, right? Like, so little suburban trying to pull off like Alicia Keys. Well,
It's a go for it.
I did. I was just like, I just went for it. Like, no one was there, and I got a standing ovation. First time ever singing in front of anyone. I'm not saying I'm a good singer, but karaoke, I'm good at
And it's
karaoke.
also a performance. It's not just singing too. It's
true.
the crowd.
It's it's the body language. It's interacting with people. It's engaging people, which I just love including everyone.
And
when I
from
do things.
then till now, you've done a music video. You've you did the 48-hour documentary.
Yes, I did the 48-hour film fest last month, which is when you have 48 hours from inception of the idea of your film, not even having your pencil on the paper, to having it shown on a screen in Manhattan. You have 48 hours.
That is insane.
So 48 hours, you to write this idea?
Right. So write it, screenplay it, film it, have the backstage film of the filming to prove that you're actually filming it that weekend.
Oh, wow.
And I had a crew and actors of about 10 people. All of this put together just because I saw this film festival. I'm like, you know what? Why not do it? And I think it was like a 5-day thing before it came up, and I threw together a team of incredible people.
And had you done this before?
No, I have. No.
Now, is this a thing, a 48-hour, or?
Yeah, they've been doing it for. I couldn't tell you exactly how long,
but it's for years, yeah.
Yeah, years and years and years. And
so you get in, they pick you, they choose you to do this, and then you don't even.
Anyone can sign up, and as long as you have your film submitted by, the deadline was 7 o'clock. So you have Friday night is when it starts. The deadline was Sunday at 7 o'clock. You had to have it uploaded, everything had to be done, hands off. I got mine uploaded at 7 o'clock and 30 seconds. So they were not going to screen it. But here's what happened.
Big butt here, big butt.
Big butt, cannot lie, right? So we shot at Mill Pond, which is one of our favorite spots. And anyone who lives on Long Island knows that Merrick Road's a bit crazy during rush hour.
Yeah.
And someone was backing out from the stores across from Mill Pond, and instead of stepping on the brake, stepped on the gas pedal. And this was an expensive car, and thank God it was, because I'm pretty sure that was the only reason there was a happy ending. This car took out 2 cars, a pine tree, a 9/11 memorial, a bench, trees, bushes, went airborne, and landed in Mill Pond. I had the camera, we had just cut, right? And all of a sudden it just sounded like explosions. All of us were ducking down, what is going on? And we look and we just see this car fly into the water. So I just dropped my shit, pardon my language.
No, it's fine.
No, it's okay.
I just went and I ran and I jumped in the water. I mean, I didn't dive in the water. I'm not gonna, I'm an actor.
He dove, he took his shirt off and he just dove in, muscles shining.
Instead of taking my shirt off, I ruined my favorite sneakers. And I went into Mill Pond, I opened the door, and when they say that water floods a car the second, I have never seen water move that fast.
Wow.
They talk about what happens when your car goes into the water. They're not lying. It was instantaneous, just
submerged
rush of water. So I pulled this woman out, and thank God her pantsuit didn't even get a chance to get wet. I got her out. I'm like, no one is ruining this pantsuit, not this murky water. Oh no.
Yeah.
So I got her out.
What is that, Anne Klein? Not today.
I kind of carried her like a baby. I got her over to the ground, and then I went and I laid down for a while because I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And
took time out of his filming to save someone. I don't know many other producers or comedians who might do that. So.
And I managed to bleach my favorite white sweatpants enough so that they are white again. The Mill Pond has come off of them.
Thank goodness.
And she was not a scratch on this woman, or the other people.
Wow.
Everybody was unharmed, and I wasn't over there hey, look what I did. I was just kind of taking in. Yeah, I was just my heart's beating a little bit fast right now.
Yeah.
And I still have to direct a movie for another 6 hours, which I did.
Yeah.
I think within 3 hours, the police and firefighters had the scene cleared up. Went right back into filming like nothing happened except for the headache and, a little bit dizzy, that adrenaline rush. And that is why, thank you to the 48-Hour Film Festival, that is why they gave me the exception of even just being a minute late. Because they don't let you be late at all. Now, we weren't eligible to be judged for the main competition, but we were eligible to be shown and judged as audience favorite. We didn't win, but we got some really great laughs, which made me very proud because we all, the actors, the crew, we all experienced this.
Yeah.
And still.
How do you get the crew and the actors in 48 hours?
Some were friends, some were people from my acting class, and some I just posted. I'm in a couple of Long Island film groups. I was like, hey, I need an actress. It's unpaid, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it came out awesome, except for, the shoddy editing. maybe was a little bit rough?
I mean, for 48 hours, you kind of have to do what you have to do, and
Yeah.
especially after witnessing and being a hero to something, it's a little tough. I can't empathize, but I can kind of see it being a little tough. But you have other amazing things going on, as well as, I mean, you did modeling.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing modeling now, and this is pretty new for me. I had auditioned for a couple of print model things last year, and as far as runway, it wasn't something that ever crossed my mind. As late as, I want to say, spring of 2023, I have a pinched nerve. And every now and then, my left foot will completely go paralyzed, and I have to walk with a cane.
Oh, goodness.
This happens like once or twice a year. It's been going on for about 2 years. So actually, the very first time I noticed it on screen was the music video I did, which is called We Are Starlight by Tripping Jupiter.
And you can definitely spot Brian. I know I did.
Yes. Beautiful song, beautiful, beautiful video, beautiful message. And there's this one part in the video which no one else would notice, but I see myself kind of like step really hard. That was before that had ever happened. And it was shortly after that video that my foot just turned off. And I saw, I'm like, wow, I can even see my balance changing in this video, but I didn't realize it was happening.
Because you were so focused in on the acting.
Right, I thought I was just uncoordinated, which I am.
I mean,
very,
me too.
very.
Me too.
I break everything I walk near.
Well, let's bring Bob right back up.
Yeah, let's bring Bob.
Bob,
come on up, Bob.
Come
We're
on up,
not
Bob.
even going to transition.
I think this is such a great juxtaposition.
Can I go in this chair now?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go in this chair.
Any chair will
As I
do.
move my chair for a chair that's already
I'll get,
positioned.
I'll get comfortable. Get comfortable.
Any
here.
chair will do. So I think it's a great juxtaposition today's guests, because you have Brian, who's kind of just jumped into this the last couple of years and is making headways, and then you have Bob, who is an established person within the community. And like I said, your resume reads like a Chinese menu. Like it's
we
like
make the number 10. You see that?
And,
Before and after.
and Bob was in an awesome one-man show.
Oh, yes, yes. Jimmy Breslin, How to Read the Newspaper Before It Goes Extinct. And it was with New York Theater Festival. We did it last year.
Oh.
And I won a Best Actor award.
Nothing,
Which is
not
great.
too
No,
shabby.
When I heard about it, you had already finished doing it. And
Yeah, we had all.
I'm a fan
short
of
runs.
Breslin.
Oh, you'll love it. We did do a tape of it. I could send you a tape of it, but we hope to
Signed
bring it back.
tape? Like a VHS tape? He's got a DVD player. I just want to let everyone know that he has
I have a Super
DVD.
8 sound film. I could send it to you.
Oh, okay.
Super 8, yeah, wow.
No,
I-
it's
8-track.
it's online.
I have a Super 8 projector still.
If you
I'm
could,
sure you do.
I don't even know what that is. I'm like Laserdisc.
I heard your pager go off before.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, yeah.
He's got to call the voicemail back. So something.
Fax
that's-
me later, okay?
I have
All
a
right.
Betamax machine. I just want to say that I think I
I'll
win.
tell.
Yeah, the Betamax.
Can I telex you?
Yeah.
Remember-
Telex.
wow,
I don't even know what that
telex.
is. I don't know.
That's-
Telegram me.
That was before faxing was telex.
Carry a
Operator,
pigeon.
Can you connect me?
In the 80s,
I don't know what these guys are doing.
Oh, can I
They're
push
kids of
this?
the 90s.
That's
or
right,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
2004.
Well-
Yeah,
right.
2004.
You're gonna bring that up? Oh wait.
What?
Do you
Yeah,
have it on?
Bobby can bring that up. You want to talk about that now?
Do you have a
Yeah, he
flyer?
has. I sent him the flyer.
There's
Bobby,
a
you have
flyer.
I took care of you, Bob.
Let's see. It doesn't look like me.
Oh.
Does he have it?
Give him a second.
Give him a
Give it a
second.
second.
What is
Give the guy a second.
going on?
Bobby.
What's
Come
coming
on,
up?
we're
I'll-
pushing
oh, he's
Bobby too
finding
much.
it. Okay. Well, it's going to happen November 26th, and it's at 1 p.m. and it's at the Broadway Comedy Club. So you can get tickets at the on their website if you want, or reach out to Steve Goldberg or Pamela Roth. They're the producers. But it's United for Israel. It's a fundraiser to help
Oh, yes.
support the troops, get them uniforms and all the equipment that they need to keep. Unfortunately, they have to keep fighting. Who knows when this Michigas is going to end? That's Italian, isn't it? Michigas. Well, who knows when it's going to end? So this is a fundraiser, and I can name something. It's like
It'll come up later. We'll bring it up.
all-star cast you got here, and we're raising money to help
Yeah.
Israel out.
And with everything going on this year, it's been really rough on a lot of us. I think everybody's been feeling it. Also now with the daylight savings time, it's always taken a toll on me. I always say, like, when summer comes, I'm like, oh, there goes my depression. So I know that Brian is actually is a big mental health advocate, as I am myself. We actually met through the Long Island Crisis Center
Yes.
as kids because we were fun and troubles.
Yes, we were.
And I know you wanted to share with us a little bit about that journey.
Yes, so it's really been the entirety of my adult life, and I mean most of my adolescence. My first anxiety attack, I was about 12 years old.
Oh yeah.
You know, I went through a lot as a child, and I always like to clarify, you know, my parents were wonderful, my family was wonderful. I went through a lot outside. I was very heavy as a kid and an adult. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, that was just not okay. You know,
Right.
it was just constant torture. Plus, I'm 100% minority. You know, as pale as I may be, I'm 0% Caucasian.
You're Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican, Eastern European, Jewish. Speaking of Israel, you know,
Yeah.
and where I grew up, I was the minority, oddly enough, and it wasn't okay with a lot of people, even my neighbors.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you do to try to get some help? What's some advice you would have to our viewers? I know you were talking about a book earlier.
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing you have to do is get in touch with yourself. You know, you have to accept that you have these things. You know, you can't. I went through my 20s saying, "Oh, it'll go away, it'll go away," and I learned that that's number one. Is you have to say, "Okay, I'm living with." You may not know what it is, but I'm living with these feelings, and then I started seeking out therapy, and from there I started learning about self-help and meditation. And unfortunately, you know, my 20-year marriage ended this year, and so I got very immersed in self-help. And
Which is great.
that to me, between that and the social workers I'd seen in the past, I'd also gone to school for social work. Just all of that has helped me help myself get through everything.
Do you think that the creativity that you're doing now, and Bob, you also, do you find that outlet, because I know I do, being on stage, getting that adrenaline, it's almost like a drug.
Well, that love, you get that love that, I mean, often performers either didn't get the love or enough love when they were younger. So the fact that also they're not heard when they feel when they were younger that they were not heard. So you get on stage and you've got the microphone and everyone's looking at you and they're listening to you and they're laughing, and laughing is like love, and the applause is like love. So I think that's why we're all needy bastards. That's what it is, because I think the people who got that when they were smaller for whatever reason, they don't need to do that, because it's all
Their cup
within
is
them.
full. Their cup is full, while our
The
cup.
box is full, yes.
Yeah. Well, we're just like.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
Oh my God, I started probably in the late 80s, and I haven't been consistently doing it. I'm sort of the wandering Jew of stand-up, theater, movies. You know, I would do stand-up for about a year, and then I'd go off and do some theater, and then I would come back and do another stand-up, you know, the clubs and whatever for a year or two, then I'd go away and do theater and, you know, that kind of thing. I did a lot of touring. You know,
And new
theater.
material? You know,
It would come up. New material would come up. I mean, basically, what I do now when I perform, my act is biographical. So my childhood doesn't change. Being fat doesn't change. Being Jewish doesn't change. That material is, but you know, you can update it. You know, make references to people like Chris Christie or whoever's in the news at the time. And I do impressions as well. So
You do impressions?
Yes.
Oh, now you've got me do one.
So
Can I have one?
Well, what would you like? I could do Curly of the Three Stooges, or Alfred Hitchcock, or
You're speaking my
Jackie
language.
Gleason.
You're speaking my language.
What would you like? Pick
All right.
one. Pick
If
one.
I had to choose, I would say out of that, Curly from the Three Stooges.
Okay, here's Curly of the Three Stooges as the captain on the SS Titanic. Out of the way! Out of the way! Out of the way! Oh, look, an icicle! Hey, icicle, where's your popsicle?
Oh no.
There's the moon. There's the stars. There's an iceberg. An iceberg. There you go.
oh, that's great.
I think all that energy too is so amazing.
It's like watching TV with my dad on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's yeah. I do everybody from Sunday. Yes.
I love it.
I know all those people.
Yeah, you. Well, Stan Laurel, you.
I do
and,
Laurel
Oliver
Hardy.
Hardy.
Alba Hardy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And Lou Costello.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a bad boy.
I love it, and I love all the energy that you bring. You can tell you put so much work into that.
Oh, well, you haven't seen me standing. I'm sitting here, but you see me standing and moving around. And
Oh,
I
gosh.
do Jackie Gleason is, it's really big. Yeah.
But I think a lot of people don't know that as performers, we need that energy to
Yes.
come out. We have to bring it.
You have to deliver it. You have to bring it to the table.
Do you have anything you do before you perform that gets you in the zone?
I pee.
I hope so.
I drink a lot of water. No, do I do it? It's very interesting. There's little rituals
Like,
that I do,
tell us.
but well, I
You can't give
pull on
away
my
all-
shirt a certain amount of time. I make sure my underwear is zipper. There's a whole ritual, but basically, I just kind of breathe and just say I got this, and sometimes I used to say just trust. Those are the two words, just trust. Yeah, and just be in the moment. I think the most important thing when you're acting, whatever, always be in the moment, because if you're thinking outside of what you're into, you're not there. So and in life, you should stay in the moment, because there's a lot of crap back here, and it comes forward, and it causes you to react a certain way. But if you just stay in the moment and listen and react, you're there.
I love that. Brian, do you have any rituals that you do before you perform?
I do, and I have to give credit to my method acting coach, Rick Immerman from the American Arts Theater in Huntington, right across from the old book review. Fantastic coach. And he taught me pretty much everything I do before I go in front of a camera or on stage. A little bit of jumping, a lot of loosening up, working the face muscles, working the vocal cords, just kind of getting everything. And I pretty much, before everything, regardless of whether it's karaoke, the last thing I do is just say fuck it.
Oh.
I like that. Just hey, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Here it goes. Here it goes.
And a lot of people starting out with comedy or performing in the beginning, they're so tense. They're wrapped
Well, you
so
have to
tight.
breathe. The most important thing is breathe.
Like you said, be in the moment. Be with the
But
crowd.
my worst
Breathe.
performances are, I'm so, I become like so overwhelmed with everything. I'm checking my notes.
You know what the key is to slow down. You're going fast. You don't realize how fast you're going. If you slow down, take your time. It's not really that slow to the audience. It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
You take that breath, that pause, and you hold for that laugh. You hold for that laugh, you'll get it. You don't hold for the laugh, you'll lose the laugh, So you gotta just take your time, feel it, and then you're listening to the crowd. You're listening.
Maybe you should give a symposium, because this is some good stuff.
I just found this by trial and error, Hit and run,
So, Benny, do you have any rituals you do before you go on stage in front of an audience?
All right, without joking around me.
I'm just asking.
Nancy's like,
He hasn't found it yet.
I hear some thumping in the bathroom. But no, seriously, I find that I perform the best if I'm like talking with people and I'm loose, and I get very loose. Like, we did a show in February, and we did at Governor's.
Okay.
And we were in the green room. And then when I went out, everybody said I was outstanding.
Yes.
Because we did a green room show. So I got to joke with friends, and, we did a live show, like something like this. We did that. And then when I went up on stage, and during that show, if you remember, I was writing down what bits I was going to do. So I was writing them down and everything, and I got loose. I even wrote a couple of new things
Right
on
before. He just gambled.
Wow.
Threw it right in there.
Yeah,
We've
wrote a
done that
couple.
before here, though.
Well, they
and
used to
stuff,
call
gambled.
Jackie Gleason, before he became, like we know Jackie Gleason, they say he was a great table comic. In other words, he'd walk around the tables at the nightclubs and he would talk to people and have a drink with them, and he was hilarious. And then he'd go up and do his act, and it was kind of like he did impressions. He did kind of a run-of-the-mill act. It wasn't, but they would hire him because he was great at the tables. So he kind of had to learn how to adapt that element to the stage. And some people, they're very funny over at the water cooler, but put them on the stage with a microphone. It's a
whole different ball game.
But that loosened me up. If I do something like that, or at the tables, which I did Sunday, talking to friends and family and friends of mine, then we went up, and I went up, and it was great.
Well, to get back to Gleason, he found that doing scene work loosened him up, made him doing a sketch So he became more of a sketch comic like the Honeymooners and things like
And
that.
is it true that Jackie Gleason did not believe in rehearsing?
Yeah, I believe he would work on his lines privately, but he wanted the spontaneity of the moment. So usually there was a guy like Barney Martin or somebody standing in for him, and Audrey Meadows, Art Carney, Joyce Randolph. They'd also memorize his part in case he went up. But yeah, he would go up in line. When he would walk around the set and rub his stomach, that meant he was gone. He didn't know where he was. And Alice would be standing there, Ralph, remember you told me earlier that Mr. Marshall said, and then he'd remember, that's right, Mr. Marshall, that's what he said. He gets all excited because she's cueing him. She's giving him the line. But she's reminding him what he's supposed to say at that moment.
And yet it comes off so much like a married couple.
It came, yeah. So
it was so perfect.
But she stands and she knows his lines. So if he needs any help, but when he would start to walk around the apartment, the camera would be on him, and he's rubbing his stomach. That means I don't know where I am, you know. But he liked the spontaneity.
And the table. I heard something when he would go to the table and put his hand on the table.
Maybe that was another cue.
That was another cue.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I love that. I love that for me, actually. I'm going to start doing that on the show.
But those are things that he always did on the episodes.
I mean, I can tell you that there's one episode where he comes in and he's had some anger management issues. They actually had that at the Gotham Bus Company, some sort of therapy, and he's taught by the therapist. I don't think they call him a therapist, but whatever, the doctor, to say something, and he's supposed to say something like pins and needles, needles and pins. Happy is the man that grins, or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So he says, I found it. I found what can calm me down, keep me cool. All that. His something that the therapist said to me, says something like that. It's, and you can see he doesn't know what it is. You know, just like a moment that acted, pins and needles. And then he kind of says it, and then everybody else is kind of repeating it later, but they're saying it a little different because he didn't say it right.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's rough because they can't help him when he comes in with the information. There's no way anybody can help him. So, and there's the episode as well where someone's supposed to say, get a load of fatso over there, and they keep mentioning it. He gets it wrong every time. The guy said, hey, fatso, get out of my way, or whatever. And then the guy comes in and says, hey, get a load of fatso over there, which is not the same line, but, you know, makes the show spontaneous. Yes.
That's what it is, and that's what we do here on the Gagootz show.
Yes.
We're just
and that
full
was
of
live
spontaneity.
television back then.
It was live, yeah.
Live television.
We don't get a lot of that now. We get a lot of, you know, recorded television, except for the tree lighting and Super Bowl, which they can't even do right.
But they don't do talk shows. If you watch an old show like the old Merv Griffin show, or the old, even if you see things on, you know, on the internet, they were very loose. The people are sitting on the couch and they're talking like us. You know, when you watch Jimmy Fallon, Steve Colbert, it's all kind of cut and dry. They know what they're going to say. Colbert, he edits, he goes back and redoes things. Fallon's got things kind of set. The old shows are very loose. You never know what people are going to say. The Carson shows, just watch them. The old Carson shows, they really don't know. They don't know where they're going. And we're watching, like, where are they going? And then something happens.
I had
Dinah
no idea.
Shore. On Dinah Shore, they used to drink alcohol during the...
Yeah,
And
we drink alcohol on the show, and I had no idea we were going to spend 10 minutes talking about Jackie Gleason today. It just happened. And it was great.
Oh, dandy.
How sweet it is.
Oh, how sweet it is.
You know what? Jackie Gleason, though, was still like an American treasure. He's a treasure.
And there's a lot of comedians out here that actually do a lot of Jackie Gleason stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's the guy who's a chef, Pat Marone?
Oh, Pat Marone, yeah.
Yeah, he does like the Honeymooners and things like
that. Well, I
that.
toured with a show in Long Island called the Honeymooners for years. I played the Massapequa this. And
I remember that.
The Tivoli Terrace and the Huntington Playhouse, a townhouse, all those catering halls that I don't think exist anymore. We always did the Honeymooners. It was a spoof of course, you know what, the Honeymooners, but it's called the Honeymooners. I was Ralph Camden. Do we fool anybody? Ed Morton. Do we fool anybody?
And now Pat Marone does one.
He
like
does?
That.
Yeah,
He does.
I've been looking
They do
forward
actual
to it.
episodes, though.
Oh.
Yours was more...
it was a parody.
A parody, yeah.
Yeah, I like to do impressions of porn stars. And
I don't know any, so you would win me
I
over.
just make up names, so like there's Horia Estefan. That's where I do my best impressions.
Did you want to use Benny and show us?
I'll be right back.
Actually, I would act better with a female as a homosexual. I can do an impression of a straight man.
You can?
I can, watch. So
Should I be like a butch lesbian?
No, just be you.
Okay, be me.
And I'm going to be a straight man.
I'm just Jen.
Like, you're really pretty. Can I come home and, like, see you naked?
Yeah.
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 That
was perfect.
That's right.
That was
And
perfect. And that's how I would answer. Yeah. Pretty much you come up to me and tell me I'm pretty and you want to see me naked, I'm like, I guess. But like, you know, that's a risk you take.
You don't even have to tell me I'm pretty. Just ask to see me naked.
You know what? Don't even see me naked. Just take, you know what? Just take me home. It's fine. My husband would be like, take her. Just take her. Don't bring her back. As long as you promise not to bring her back. No, he's absolutely wonderful. But I don't really have any before rituals that I do.
Yeah,
I
know.
listen.
We didn't ask you.
We didn't ask you.
I'm bringing it around. Don't worry, guys. I've got control here a little bit.
He's pulling the string.
That's what we do. But usually beforehand, I like to listen to the audience and see what's up, like what's landing, what's not landing, and I like to look at the audience and see like, do we have 20-something-year-olds? Do we have 40-year-olds?
See, it's very good. It's
That's
very
what I
good.
do.
I'm glad you brought that up
And
because
then
that's
I
what
change my transitions, like I always say.
that's what Joey Cola. That was the one thing he stressed.
Really?
Joey Cola
Well, you
Jay
know,
Norland has been saying this, but now Joey Cola says it. Now Benny listens.
No, yeah, right.
All
No,
right.
Joey Cola said, always be there, always
Yes.
see the audience, because he does studio warm-ups.
Yeah.
So always be there and see your audience, see what and how you dress for that particular audience.
Right.
Like wear something bright for a regular show. Then he hosts those Soprano shows that are going on now with Steve Schirripa and Michael Imperioli.
What are they, like dinner theater?
What?
Like dinner theater?
They come out and they talk about the Sopranos or
it's
whatever.
a Q&A, I think.
Q&A,
Oh,
but
okay.
but Joey is part of that, and he hosts that show.
Oh.
So he said then he wears a black shirt, but he says while those guys are in the green room eating and having a good, he says I'm looking at my audience.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Because from being the studio warm-up, he says always watch your audience. So what you said is just bring it around full circle.
Yeah, thanks, Joey.
The audience, Jen, the audience will tell you, like, you know Jackie Gleason, God bless you. If I do a Jackie Gleason thing where he's doing Shakespeare, all these pieces of Shakespeare, if I start to do it and I do a gesture like this and they don't react, I know they don't really know Gleason, you know? So I have to get to the screaming. They know, you know that, they know that,
Right.
but the little gestures, but if I start to go like this or I pace back and they're laughing, I can stretch that. I can milk that.
Oh, yeah.
But if they're not reacting, I got to get into the yelling and hit the points, and it moves me faster through the bit. But it's really listening to them. Do they get
Absolutely.
so these little signals when you say that? So because you don't know when you do certain impressions, especially if the crowd is mixed. If you see there's all 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, no problem. But the younger crowd, some don't know. You know.
I absolutely agree with you. I have one joke that kills for the 30s, 40s crowd, and it has to do with Marlboro Miles.
Okay, all right.
I've told that joke in front of a 20s crowd, got nothing.
Yeah.
And it is like a killer. It always kills. But if you don't know what Marlboro Miles are, you're lost. Yeah.
See, we came from a different generation where we all kind of watched the same things. There were less channels. There was less, the certain generation.
Simpler time.
didn't have a
We
choice.
watched Channel 5. It's true we didn't have a choice.
There were revivals. They were
But
always bringing
we
back.
all watched the same Looney Tunes. We all watched the same Popeye cartoons. We all watched the Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. But now there's so many things. And we're not all watching network TV.
Right.
Most young people don't watch
Yeah,
television.
but you know what I want
Anyway.
you guys to watch?
What's
Because
that?
we're wrapping up
Oh!
here. I want you guys to follow these two on social media. Brian, where can we find you on social media?
So my Instagram, which is where I post my happy, fun, ridiculous stuff, it's Brian with a Y, so it's at Brian_Velez, and I'll say it like I do on the phone, V as in Victor, ELEZ as in zebra, so it's Brian_Velez_media.
So
at
find-
Brian_Velez_media.
Find him online and please follow him. And then, of course, how are we following you, Bob Greenberg? How are we getting in touch with you?
Instagram, Bob Greenberg, actor comic.
Excellent. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you all for
Please
watching.
support
Oh,
this
and there's
for
the
Israel.
flyer.
There's the flyer.
There's the flyer
Yeah.
for Israel.
There it is.
You'll be in the basement of Broadway Comedy Club in case anything happens. You'll be
Broadway
fine.
Comedy Club. Go on their website. You can buy a ticket.
Thank you all for coming
Good
tonight. Thank
cause.
you, Brian. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Benny.
Yo, thank you,
Have a great
Jen.
night,
Greenberg, actor
everybody.
comic.
Thank you all for watching.
Instagram.
Have a great week.